Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Hello. It's Soulful Saturday, and we're riding that train. Who's with me? Come on in. It's time for us to get busy. We got a new quote of the week. It's Soulful Saturday. We're going to pay attention to a little bit of something that's going on inside. All we need is some folks to show up. So come on in. I'm excited to see you all here. So many things going out and happening today. So let's do this thing. There's my girl, Amber. I'm just chit-chatting with her. We're trying to find a boat. we're working on a boat. We are bound and determined to find a boat. Hey, Jerry. Hi, Julie. I'm glad you're all here. We need to get an electric pontoon boat. So just know this. If you see something, you gotta let me know about it. Hi, Doris. I see you. Good to have you, everyone here. Everyone. Noreen's here. And I'm seeing the numbers light up a little bit, so I know you're all in the house. Thank you so much for stopping by and coming on in and hearing a little something about this broadcast, because I'm going to tell you right now, good morning to you, Diane. Good afternoon. I would say Beverly's in the house. It's a great day to rejoice in how wonderful the world is. I know there's been a lot of crazy out there. But you know what we focus on expands. We've said that so many times. What we dwell upon becomes our destiny. And I'll go one step further, is that if you're spending all your time on this stuff and in social media and you're gonna feel the repercussions of that. It's gonna whop you in upside the head. Not with a cosmic 2x4 like we love to have those kind of epiphany moments, but instead with a lot of sadness. And, there's a lot of sadness right now. And I don't want you to get sucked into that. And as a matter of fact, even though I'm talking about, so-called happiness, today I want to take you to the place of what you can do to manage your brain so that you don't have to go into that sinking place. You don't have to. You don't have to. And I'm here to make sure that you don't. That's my job. That's part of what I do. All right, who's here? Who's with me? And do we have some pinkies up yet in the house? I hope so. I got a new quote for you. I told you about that, right? The new quote, you're gonna love this one. One of the happiest moments in life is when you let go of the things you cannot change. Holy cow. What? Tell me that isn't like the most appropriate quote of the week. One of the most happiest moments in life is when you let go of the things you can't change. Oh my gosh, cosmic 2x4. You mean there's things I cannot change? I'm inviting you to just kind of have a laugh at ourselves. Don't we always feel like, we should be able to make change? Well, you are the change you want to see. You've heard that one before, right? You are. But we have limited access to the entire universe. You do have access to your entire world though, your little world. So that's an important concept, and I just want to invite you to just really think about that. It's a little food for thought. I think it's delicious food for thought, as a matter of fact. And speaking of food for thought and getting your mind right, how about this quote deck? Have you seen it? You find it at savingdinner.com/quote. Let me just show you one of the goodies that's in here. This is one of my favorites. This is from Karen Lamb. A year from now, you're going to wish that you had started today. Is that not the truth? How about this one? The most creative act you will ever undertake is the act of creating yourself. Deepak Chopra. Beautiful, right? Should I keep going? How about this one? Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Also a great one for today. It's on the other side of fear, and fear can be the ruling emotion. Fear can just knock everything off of your little shelf, so to speak. It's like a fear cosmic earthquake in your head sometimes. And I don't want that for you. So you want to find out about this quote deck. When we set up our environment to coddle and nurture and love ourselves up with beautiful quotes, with these ideas of living a different life, one that is apart from all the sadness and being sucked into all of this. When we make a decision to do that, life starts to change. We can do that when we start setting up our environment one step at a time. You get this cute little wooden stand, isn't it, darling? It's a little easel. Put it on your desk and change them out as it suits you, as it seems, fit. You can buy these at savingdinner.com/quote. And if you buy two, you actually get them shipped for you free. So check that out. It's a great gift as well. We also have our supplement of the week, which is a multivitamin. Basically, put 4 of those in your cart, and we will calculate it as if you only bought 3. How do you like that? So it's buy 1, get 1 free, or buy 3, get 1 free, but you have to put 4 in your cart, and we do the calculation for you, and we ship it to you free. Our Vibrant Body Detox is starting on Monday. If you're a part of that, savingdinner.com/restore. If you want to get all boned up again on the goodies and how this is all working, that's my webinar you can watch. And if you want to be a part of it, you come in a little late because we can't get it to you by Monday. But you know what? We're there for you. So supplement of the week, by the way, is at savingdinner.com/show. So I've got all that, right? Did we have like the big, and Sarah, where the heck were you? I was expecting your comedy routine. This last Thursday, we did the What's Next webinar for the Sprint Plus. We talked about that. That's at savingdinner.com/burn. It went on for 2 hours. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but it went on for 2 hours because there were so many questions, and it was great. We got down to all the business of what needed to be discussed, and got people in this place of being pretty excited about going forward. And I don't know about you, but I am feeling fantastic. Fantastic. Especially, I've just been really paying attention to hydration, of course. I've been really paying attention to my sleep and getting to bed a little bit earlier than normal. Usually I get to bed around 11. We've been going to bed around 10:30. That little bit makes you feel a whole lot better. And by the way, we lose weight as we sleep. So you're not getting adequate sleep. You're not going to lose weight. You're going to get in that place of weight loss resistance. One of the things that we talked about on Thursday's webinar. You can go check it out at savingdinner.com/burn. So there you go. That's everything. And don't forget, we also have our Q&A is always on Friday. It was a really good one this time. Did you like that? You can send your questions into support@savingdinner.com, and in that subject line, question for Leanne on Friday. Very important. You know why? That way our customer service knows exactly what to do with the question when you do that. It's just letting us know. Otherwise, we're just like, okay, so what do you want? So anyway, what is this? I asked hubby, if you're looking at new houses. You wanted to watch while you were looking at your husband wanted time with you alone, Sarah. My word. That's dedication, though. The fact that you even asked. Tell your husband we love him. He's a doll. Anyway, let's get into today's stuff because, despite everything, we're all still reeling, aren't we? We're all still reeling from all the stuff, and, the news is constantly in front of us. We're seeing arrests. We're seeing all the stuff where everyone's in discussion. My Facebook feed is just filled with all the things, and it's just like, I look and then I went, no. You know why? I don't want to engage, because what you think about expands. What you dwell upon becomes your destiny. I don't want to think and dwell upon. I have no control over this stuff. None. Either do you. We have the opportunity, though, to take that energy and to put it inward. And I want to talk today about how we can get happy. Now, happiness, of course, we've talked about this before. Happiness is an inside job, for sure. But joy is definitely, this is heart, mind, body, and soul. This is the stuff that just dwells within. This is where it lives, inside of us. And it's a choice that we make, by the way. Here's a book that I read. It's called The Power of Decision. It's by Raymond Charles Barker. It's written in 1965. And he's just, the things that he just drops these truth bombs all along the way. So many times, though, I will tell you, it's just like, this is dry. And then I go, whoa, mind blown. It's a great book to read. So I would invite you to take a look at that, because everything in our lives are based on decision. Everything, you know, even if you think it's not. You know, you get to a green light, you get to a stoplight and it turns green. What do? You press on the gas and you go forward. Why? Because it's a green light, yes, but you make a decision to go forward in that green light. We always are constantly making decisions. And when we understand that that's how it works, then we can start getting in a little bit into our brains and start working from that particular premise. So Raymond Charles Barker, he said something that just blew me away in his book. I was reading it this morning, and it says, problems in the mind are what pain is to the body. How about that? Isn't that the truth? The things that we're thinking about, it's like having a Charlie horse. It's just something, it's a bothersome thing. But we can get beyond it. And the thing is, happiness may be happenstance, which it certainly is, and there's a lot of, but we can choose what our happenstance is. We can choose to turn off the news. We can choose to do all the things to kind of just say, okay, that's enough. I don't need any more of that. But we also can choose to find the joy. We can look for the gratitude. We can look for, you know, as Mr. Rogers used to say, look for the helpers. Look for the things that bring in the help and the necessary things that we need in our lives. I think that's an important thing. So we need to understand that our joy is dependent on nurturing our little soul gardens. This is how we find joy. This is how we connect with our Creator. This is how we create and increase the empathy and the love and the joy and everything that's in our hearts. This is how it all works. There's a cycle there, and it's a feeding and nurturing cycle that's in there, and it's a beautiful thing. And we can experience that anytime we decide that we want to. So I have for you today, let me see how many things did I write down. I've got the things. I always have the list of things. Lists help me, so hopefully it's going to help you. And I've got a beautiful quote for you that you're going to love. It's called, there's 6 things that I have for you that'll help you to choose happiness over this sadness and this dark cloud, really, that's pretty much out there for everyone. You ready to go with that? Let's do it. The first one is that we all feel pain, right? We all feel pain, and feeling pain or feeling distressed or overwhelmed with all of this stuff and saying, what the heck? And whatever it is that you want to do, it's perfectly fine to address that stuff, but it's wrong to identify with it. You get the difference? That's huge. This is a needle mover. Write this down. So in other words, you get to go to this place and you get to say, you know what? I don't get this. This is awful. I feel like this, or I feel scared. I feel it's tragic, or whatever it is that you want to say about it, whatever it is to help you process. But when you say, I am sad, I am depressed, I'm overwhelmed, when you make these I am statements, you are declaring a new identity to yourself. You are telling your amygdala, go on with the fear, because your amygdala is the part of your brain that doesn't like any change, any risk, or anything like that. And it's also the fear center, that as soon as there's something fearful, your amygdala says, oh my gosh, I've got to protect her. You know, what do we need to be vigilant about? What do we need to be thinking about? Where's the evidence to support this so I can keep you protected? Think about how that all cycles through. And all I'm saying to you is that we don't have to do that. We don't have to go there. And we can completely disconnect from that stuff and say, you know what? Process, yes. Identify, absolutely not. There's a huge shift there when you decide, I'm not going to identify. Your I am statements are so critical and important because it's a declarative value of who you are. An I am statement needs to be said carefully. An I am statement needs to be said declaratively, affirmingly, and intentionally about your character, about the beauty of who you are, and about your worth in the eyes of God and everybody else. Remember, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, right? Let's keep this distinction there. Underline it, highlight it, stars, whatever it is that you need to do. When you start to go there, start to remember, I am not all of this emotional stuff that I'm feeling. I am who I am. I am wonderfully and fearfully made, right? I am the apple of my Creator's eye. Keep that in mind. So feel sad, be sad, do whatever, talk to a friend, but your I am statements are absolutely protected and only for you to lift yourself up, not bring yourself down. Number 2, this is okay, hard stuff, struggle bus, absolutely not. But it does take a decision, and that is to make a decision to do right by yourself anyway. There's a lot of people who, and I talked about this a little bit on Wednesday or Thursday, whenever that was, but there's a lot of people out there just saying, you know what? Go open the booze bottles, go, get yourself hammered, go eat all the carbs, do whatever it is that you need to do. It's okay. And I have a different perspective on this because I'm speaking as an addict myself, addicted to food and had the biggest, breakup with sugar imaginable. Very dramatic, very dramatic. It's not a wise thing for me to do. And I'm going to bet it's not a wise thing for you to do either, because we've been down those roads before and they just don't help. They actually pile on, because that minute you think, yeah, that's going to make it all different. It's like you might as well be in a crack house, with a bunch of, other people who are all junked out on stuff. Can you tell I've been watching Breaking Bad? Well, I've had a break, but I've seen it. And it's just horrifying to me to watch this stuff. We don't need to go there. We don't need to do this kind of stuff. We just need to stay, okay, you know what? My body still needs fluid. I'm going to hydrate. My body still needs rest. I am going to sleep. My body still needs to be fueled properly. I'm going to eat the food that I know brings me energy, makes me excited about my life, brings vibrancy. Because when we do all these other things, it doesn't bring vibrancy. It brings us down. That's the end of the story. So that momentary thing, again, it's the 2 pains, either the pain of regret or the pain of going through with it right now. I'd rather have that little pop of just, all right, I'm just going to go through with it anyway. It makes you feel like a different woman entirely. So let's keep doing that, meditate, pray, use your tools. You've got a toolbox full of them. It's not like you're left without any coping mechanism. Yeah, you have tons of them. And connect with your community, for heaven's sakes. Have you noticed that being in community makes you feel not so alone, not so isolated? We are meant for so much more, and we're meant to be together and connected. It's absolutely crucial. Number 3, I'm going to tell you this, and please, I'm saying it with a big grain of salt, and I'm not saying this to insult anybody, but stop saying I'm depressed. Again, it's back to number 1. I am. What? I am. If that is what you're going to identify with, that is what's going to be your identity. No, if you're feeling depressed, I get it. But are you going to dwell on it? Are you going to be in that place of all of that? Don't identify yourself with this. And, seriously, don't identify yourself with a disease you might be battling with either. Don't call it my cancer. Don't call it my thyroid disease. I was in a thyroid group, trying to get more information when I was trying to figure all of this out before I went into remission and have stayed in remission from Hashimoto's. And this woman had tattooed right here this big thyroid butterfly thing. And that was for people who, that's the symbol for Hashimoto's. And I thought to myself, talk about taking that identity thing to the next degree. You're going to brand yourself, or tattoo yourself for life, saying, I'm a victim. Oh, hell to the no. We don't need to do that. That's a part of maybe something that we need to figure out. But it's not who we are. We are not a disease. We are not an emotion. We are whole, beautiful women. Keep that in mind. Your identity is not a disease. It's not a feeling. Your identity is very dear to the one who made you. Okay? So when we identify with the wrong things, we're bringing in the wrong messages to our brain, and our brain's lighting us up saying, great, let me find evidence to support that. How crappy is that? How awful is that? That's just going to lead us right down the yellow brick road into some awful place of not wanting to be. So the other thing that I have for you is number 4, you are so much bigger than this darkness. Did you know that? Because this is your home. This is your house, your bodysuit. This is who you house your soul. You have the power at any time to flick on that light switch. You don't have to live in perpetual darkness, do you? You don't have to live there. You need to live in the place where you know you can turn on the light, because you can. That's your brain. That's your brain's that's your brain's job. When you make a decision that you can do this and you say you will, then you do. It's really quite simple. Pick, it goes on. And you start doing the things that you know support the vibrancy that you want. Even when you don't feel like it. Light switch, right? Light switch, light switch, light switch. Number 5 is the power to transform is in your mind. I'm going to say this again, and it is one of the most critical, important things to understand about the biochemistry of your body, your physiology, and how this whole thing works. We have this part of our brain. It is the fear center of our brain. It's probably the most primitive part of our brain too, because how easy is it to just feel like overwhelmed and crazy and awful and right? That's your amygdala's job. And even if you hate it, but if it's known and this is where you've been, your amygdala likes stuff that doesn't change. Even if it's crazy wild abuse, even if it's crazy wild feeling awful, doesn't matter. Your amygdala is like, yeah, we know this. This is normal. This is regular. Let's keep this up. So if we stay in this place, we stay in this place and bringing in all this stuff, what happens? What happens? Well, our fear center lights up and says, see, here you go. Here's the evidence that shows that this is it. I told you, I'm not making this up. There it all is. That's your amygdala's job. But I'm asking you for a shift, and that is to go from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. This is all the layers of your brain. This is the part of your brain where the thinking comes in. This is where your big thinking comes in. This is where we understand abstract ideas. This is where we're able to strategize and see things a little bit more clearly. If we can go instead and just say to the amygdala, you know what, shut the heck up, and say, I'm going to really think this through and process. Because this is the processor right here, right in the front. I mean, you can feel yourself thinking here. You can also feel yourself fearing here in the back. Our brain lights up in different areas. And if you think about it and you try to feel it, you can actually feel this stuff, and it's amazing. So to take your power back, you have to shut the amygdala down. It's not the amygdala's job to run your life, it's yours. And that happens up here in your prefrontal cortex. This is also the hippocampus, where we have the ability to have our memories and what have you. And our hippocampus job is to store all of our memories, right? So we need to take things that are just big and huge and overwhelming and place them, remember, in the experience file. Because the experience file teaches us. But if we live and relive all the negativity that we're going through, have gone through, or whatever, then that's going to be the soul. Then our prefrontal cortex gives it back to the amygdala, and we live our lives in fear. This is the cycle. This is how this stuff works. I'm not making this up. This is brain physiology, and it's fascinating because then we understand that what we're doing, we're not about just a bunch of gobbledygook. Oh, here comes some positivity and some nice wishful thinking. It's how your biology works. And when your biology when you understand your biology, you have an understanding on how to change it up and how to manipulate it, because you have been manipulated. That's how you take your power back, and that is big. So use your brain. Don't let your brain use you. That's what it is. This is big time. Number 6 is gratitude, because listen, your gratitude is going to fuel the appreciation that you need in your life for what it is that you do have. You might have some bad stories from your past. We all do, you know, and yours might be way worse than mine or whatever. Doesn't matter. What matters is what you're focused on. What matters is what you decide that you're going to focus on so that you can expand on, so that you can dwell on. What you're dwelling on is what is going to become your destiny. So if you want to live in the place of overwhelm and fear and all of that other stuff, just allow your brain to take over. If you decide you want to take your power back, then understand that it's up to you to do that. And these are some of the tools that you can use. I will tell you, gratitude changes everything. Gratitude puts us in the place where we're saying, you know what? All this stuff might be going on, but look at me. I'm living, I say this, I'm living in the house of my dreams, where I want to be, on this beautiful lake. Look at me. I'm in a relationship with a man who adores me. Look at me. I have everything that I want. I have the freedom and the ability to come here every single day and to talk to women who are trying to have the same kind of life that I am. Look at us connected like this. I have such gratitude for that. You have no idea. I mean, to the point of tears. It's, how phenomenal is that? You're a part of this. Isn't this great? Aren't we living a wonderful life despite all the crazy? So here's a quote that I read that just made me go, wow, you know, upside the head. Are you ready for it? It's from Melody Beatty. She wrote a book about denial and alcoholism and all of that. She had quite a book. I read it way back in the day when I was dealing with an alcoholic in my own life. And I mean, it was a good book, but I'm not going to go there. That's not what this is about. But I'm going to go to her quote, which is brilliant. And considering the pain that this woman has been through, pretty profound. Gratitude feels, this is mine. When gratitude fuels all the things in your heart, mind, body, and soul. Yes, it does. But here's what she said. Melody Beatty. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity, and can turn a meal into a feast. It can turn a house into a home. It can turn a stranger into a friend. We are bullies to ourselves, y'all. We are. We bully ourselves and we don't think the best of ourselves sometimes. And sometimes the overwhelming circumstance of what's going on can be really hard. But we can't be like a toddler, you know? This is exactly what it is. It's like we're like untrained toddlers opening the door to anyone. Have you had a 3-year-old open your door and you're going, no, don't open the door to anyone? But this is what we do when we don't control our mind. We're just like an untrained toddler opening up the door to a perfect stranger, letting them in. That's not how we roll. We're better than that. We just need to understand how to take our power back by getting control of our brain and the way that we think. It's that simple. It really is. This is not, this is not a bunch of platitudes here. This is actual things that you can do to change the trajectory of your entire life, because your brain runs the show, but you need to run your brain. Got it? Pop. Let's land that one hard, okay? Think about this. Mull it around. Be a part of this, because one of the happiest moments in your life is when you let go of the things that you cannot change. And there's a lot out there we can't touch with a 10-foot pole. So let's not get into those muddy waters. Let's stay in the clear place of our own homes. Stay here. Got it? Love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I won't see you tomorrow because I am going to be home with a day off. And guess what? I will be back though on Monday. But do be looking for emails from us. We got lots of good stuff coming up for you. Lots of great stuff. And next Thursday, we have a new webinar coming up. And it's all about your skin. Everybody loves the skin stuff. I'm just really impressed with our skincare, our beauty support. I've been using it for a long time. I constantly get little snippets from people telling me how nice my skin is. And at 62 years old, I feel pretty good in my own skin. Pretty darn good. I own my age. It's just a number. But you know what? I want this for everyone. I want everyone to feel good in their own skin. I sure didn't 10 years ago. That's the truth. So let's get together this Thursday. Just put it on your calendar, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll give you links and everything on Monday. Promise, hand to God. And watch for our emails and show notes, by the way. Just go to savingdinner.com and you can get our show notes and get on our email list. This is the best way to hear about the latest stuff that's happening with us. We change our supplement of the week on Monday. So grab your multivitamins right now. Remember, if you put 4 in the cart, you'll be charged for 3 only, and you get it for free. That's at savingdinner.com/show. I really appreciate you. Thanks for sharing this. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being a part of my community. Love you all. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.